for being here. A few minutes behind. I am here though. And s- off work today because of the ice. So this is the reality of jumping on late now. Schedule is a little off. Oh, but I'm here. So, you know what they say? You showed up. Sometimes that's what it takes. Is we just show up and we get her done. So good morning. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, I was up late since we have no work today, but I decided to get up and do it anyways. And then my schedule's all messed up getting up. And yeah, here we go. Morning, Lamar. How are you out there, buddy? Be safe. It's icy out there. Snow, huh? Probably we're up in Ohio, Indiana. It's probably pretty snowy and icy up there. Be careful. But good morning. Thanks for joining me. So grateful you're here. And what a great day it is indeed. This is Carlos coming to you live here. And you're known, our reputation is the Amish Matchmakers, where we help Amish singles to find and to discover and find godly spouses, create epic marriages through our marriage mastery process, and then develop develop a legacy that is rooted in faith, freedom, and above all else, love. Love is the key, and the wholeness of love, not just parts, but what we believe is a wholeness of love that'll bring joy, that will bring self control, that will bring peace. Okay, good morning. I'm doing good. We don't get any ice, just about a foot of snow. Okay. So they're keeping the roads plowed, and we had a lot of ice here in Georgia. And what happened was it rained, and then the cold front just moved in right behind the rain, and like it was crazy. I haven't seen icicles in a while. To see icicles, yeah, icicles hanging all over the house, hanging all over cars and things. And so, yeah. King of Israel has son. Okay. Hello, all. Let's show some of these comments as you guys jump on. Show you how that I am live. Some of these weird comments. Goodbye. All right. So this morning, love talk with the Amish Matchmaker. I kind of wanted to address a few things with. I want to go the opposite way. I know we help singles to find love, keep love, and make it epic. It's super important to do that. However, I want to talk about keeping love today, what that looks like to keep love and be loving, and what it looks like too to yoke as a couple, because I think we don't talk about that enough. So this week, I want to talk about what it means to yoke on all three levels. But I want to start with marriage and work backwards. Married to then, dating or engaged and then single. Um, because I want to talk to you about the end result and it's a great day today. Good morning. It is Monday, and yeah, just so you know, I am live. It is January 26th, 2026, and I'm just shocked. We're approaching the end of the month, but yet grateful and blessed all the things that we've been able to accomplish in these yeah, crazy enough, in these 4 weeks of the beginning of the year. Or it's taken back even to last year as we set a 12-week year goal. And I remember it's so interesting how things happen. I remember last year, this time, we were trying to get permits and get things set up and finalize the funding to build a home here on the ranch for my brother and sister-in-law, Jay and Michelle Taylor. And it was crazy how, man, we were scrambling and things weren't getting done, meaning like I was traveling. I know that was before Eli and Ina got married, and I went to hang out with also Nathan Kinsinger too. Took a trip to DC for the inauguration at the beginning of the year. I think that was that right. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Men's trip. Um, yeah, and then we had Nathan and Kinsinger, Eli and Ina. Went to them and worked with them in person, helped them to go to the next level in their lives. And that's when Eli and Ina, they were already engaged, I think, by that time. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Man, I don't know. I'm just looking at the calendar. Maybe they weren't quite engaged yet. Yeah, I think they were. Too many different dates and things. Point being, is I'm looking at the calendar from 2025, which it'll go away after this month. It's interesting. I wanted to kind of leave it up for the beginning of 2026 just to kind of see how the year is flowing differently than last year and what we're doing differently this year. This year, obviously, our big change is the acquisition of a company, a service providing company. But I realize like how things go in life when you're doing things and you've got goals and targets. The biggest thing is to make the decision that you're going to go after this goal, go after a target. And then the next thing is to put things in action and put things that almost like force you to keep moving forward on that decision, set some deadlines, some targets, and also put things like, for instance, we enrolled for a course in March, going to travel and go to an event in March at the end of March for this business that we just purchased. So, but we wanted to be at a certain point in March before we travel and go to this business event. And it's crazy how like it feels like, okay, we're not quite getting things organized, but yet we've done a lot by the 26th, uh, Monday, and today's an ice day, if you would. We're iced in. We could get out and go, but we don't need to. The roads are icy, the vehicles are icy. Reminds me of COVID days when everyone was locked in. It's interesting, or locked in their homes, kind of, or staying home, and nobody is going out. Yeah, similar in the sense of staying in because of the ice, right? So, anyways, back to let's get back to the topic, love talk. I started thinking about this anyways for the 26 or 2026 because of the fact that momentum hits. I've been watching Secret Billionaire, binge watching it to get that mindset too, because they had 12 weeks to get develop company into $1 million, but they went from zero. We're not going from zero. I will admit we have a huge advantage when you have almost 4,000 clients. You have a pre-existing business. Maybe it's an advantage, and we are taking a company that's a legacy company, been around over 50 years, between the father and son, and developing it. The target and the goal is to develop into a multi-million-dollar company within 12 weeks to be on track to do over 1 million, which would be doubling the business. That's the goal, is to double the business in the next 12 weeks. Well, now it's Now we're down. We're down to 9 weeks. Is that right? 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Yeah. Yep. Almost 8. I guess it's 9. We have one more week this week in January. Okay. But momentum is comes because we stay focused and we stay consistent and faithful doing things. And I think that's what I want to talk about, as I was saying, is what does it look like to yoke up, to be committed, right? We have the 3 C's of intimacy. We got confidence, communication, and commitment. What does commitment look like? It looks different to others, to so many people. What does it mean to be unequally yoked? I want to just nail that. What people think typically to be unequally yoked is to uh, not be of the same religion or the same, exact belief system, or I often hear people, well, I say, what's the most important thing? What would you say is the most important thing about relationship and marriage? And what do you believe when God says, do not be unequally yoked? And I hear every time it's to be a Christian. That's what's the most important thing. And I'm here to tell you that I don't agree with that. That actually I've met a lot of Christians who have their mind made up in their belief system, and they're not teachable and coachable. They're very stubborn. They're very set in their ways, and that everyone else is evil and wrong because their religions don't match up. And so they call themselves Christians, but then they're not teachable and coachable. And what I see, and I've observed, and through the word of God and through my life, the most successful people on the planet. And you're like, well, I don't want success. Okay, then you're probably not in the right place, because that's what I talk about, and that's what's important to me, just in all areas of a holistic life, and important to those that we work with. That's They want success. They want to be, they want to be great. They want to make a difference in the world, and I believe that comes from being successful, because how you do anything is how you do everything. And so I truly believe that it does matter on how we approach life. And so, with that said, um, how do we yoke up? Well, what is to be unequally yoked? I truly believe is to choose not to do the work together. Like, there's certain areas where yoking itself is to be equal, because a yoke is a hard, like, board that goes across two bovine around their neck, one bovine, the other bovine, and it's a tool, mechanism, and a tool that allows you to pull together. Where two become one is through the yoking process, and whether it's horses, uh, and it's crazy because then you can add even more, right? You yoke up multiple horses and cows, bovine, then you can even go farther, faster, longer. Like, if you think about a stagecoach, it's interesting that would go across country for miles and miles and miles and miles. They had 6 horses, 4 to 6 horses, usually 6 for a stagecoach, which could outrun other horses that was just a single horse trying to keep up with them and to rob that stagecoach, right? So it's interesting, even the more you yoke and the more you put working together, the longer, faster, farther, and they can work, because they're not pulling all the same weight. They're pulling in tandem together. And so that is truly a better definition and understanding of what yoking is that it does. The reality and the truth of what we got to be practical and understand is the yoke equalizes you. So whatever you choose to be equalized in with that other person, right? And by the way, God says, take up my yoke, for my yoke is easy. My burden is light. He wants to yoke with us even. Super awesome, right? Great equalizer of that connection and that relationship. But that's the thing. When he yokes with us, he's not yoking with us as God. He yokes with us as Father. That understanding, I believe, is like step one of connection and recognizing he is a good Father. He's not the God that lords over us and just waiting to punish us if we get out of line. So now I want to talk about then what being equally yoked looks like. I know oftentimes we talk about, what it means to be unequally yoked. We talk about what not to do. I want you to hear and understand how important it is to declare and know and understand what it's like, what to do, what things to go towards and focus on. And that's where I will tell you that it is important to go after, or what it looks like to be connected and to be yoked up is to have, yes, I'm in the USA. What's up, brother? Hello. And you can ask a question. My wife and I are experts in relationship. Experts because of time, experience, and working with thousands of people. Okay. So now back. Sorry, chat got me a little bit. The chat on the video here got me a little distracted. It's all good. Ask your question. Fire away, and then I'll address it in a minute. But going back to the love talk and the relationship stuff is, what does it look like for a married couple to be equally yoked then? I truly believe it means that you're working together and you have equal power, equal strength, equal synchronicity in the flow, in the movements and things that you're working on. Uh, and what I believe too, on a practical level as well, when you choose to yoke up in different areas, different categories of life, as you're merging together in marriage, you're yoking up in how you raise the children, you yoke up in even the home, like chores and things that you do in the home. You yoke up in the business and how you work the business together. You yoke up in spirituality and what you believe and what you're going after together too, as far as like spiritual foundations and what church you go to. You yoke up in your finances and how you're going to do um, your money and how you're going to handle your wealth and your abundance as you develop it and grow it together. You yoke up together how you're going to raise the children and with what standards and what kind of discipline they're going to have, right? And all these different things. And you yoke up even in your health, right? And how yoking up and exercise and what you're eating and the things that you're doing to represent your health. For instance, Chantel and I are planning on doing different events that will be a focus point for our health. We've got to work out. We work out together. We have a trainer. We haven't been doing it this whole month, but we're going to get back at it. We are. That's the target. I'm being publicly declaring that we will get back to our workouts. It is a priority for us to keep our health up. And so we do. We have some leadership in place so we can break away and go exercise together with our trainer. We got to get back to that. So, because then we have goals of what we want to do. We want to be a part of a Spartan race, um, Tough Mudder, and things this year. So, it's important for us to exercise and prepare for that. So, anyways, these are all the ways that we can yoke up together, partner together, and then go do those things together. It's very powerful. And then, on a practical sense, what's God's promise? Well, in a literal sense, with the two bovine, when they yoke up, guess what happens? They get 3 times the results. And that's powerful. So you got 1,000 pound bovine, 1,000 pound bovine. By themselves, they can pull double their weight. Does that sound familiar? Like a single parent, single mom, single dad, you can pull your weight. You can hustle. You can do double your weight in work, and you can really go after it with everything that is in you. And then what's awesome is if you become a leader, that's where leadership comes in. When you become a leader, you learn how to yoke with others and partner with others and come together with others in the work that you're doing. And so then you've got, when you get married, you're both, let's say, like a bovine, practically 1,000 pounds, 1,000 pounds. They can pull double their weight by themselves. Coming together, now you've got 2,000 pounds, and then you can pull together 6,000 pounds. Super powerful. 3 times the combined weight. 3 times. I'm going to say that again, the combined weight in a practical manner. That's why when we yoke with the Father, not God, because God is not going to want to yoke with you because he's lording over you. No, but Papa, Father, Abba does want to yoke with you. When you know him and see him that way, you understand it, and then you feel his presence, you feel his connection, you feel his love that wants you to succeed. He'll yoke up with you. That's the first step, is to believe and know that Father wants to yoke up with you, that you're his son, you're his daughter. You are worthy of being yoked up with. To know that a father would yoke up with you, it's like step one, because then it allows you to understand what that feels like to be loved and to be connected to that level. You're yoking and working together in life, in projects, in things that you're doing, your daily routines and activities. It's powerful to yoke with Father, and then to yoke with a potential spouse is super amazing too, and start working together. But okay, fast forward, we're working backwards. You're married. What does it look like then to yoke up, even in the household duties? Household duties. I want to talk about this because do you know how to cook? Men, this is the men's edition. So I'm going to talk to you. Do you know how to cook, or is the only thing you know how to do is turn on the microwave? Seriously. Do you actually know how to cook a meal? Do you know how to follow a recipe? Now, I'm super grateful. I was raised by a single mother for big part of my life. And one thing too that my mom did was she cooked. She did home cooked meals. But then I remember taking home ec. Now, I don't know why I did. I don't remember. Maybe I did it because there was girls in that class, to be honest, probably. And a lot of girls, and I knew that girls outnumbered the guys in home ec, and I wasn't too proud, machismo, to learn how to cook. So I took home ec, and I took advanced home ec, and even food services and stuff. It was awesome. I really enjoyed cooking and learning how to cook. But then I fast forward to my adult years of being married. I'm willing to cook too. She cooks, I cook. Chantel and I, ultimately, it's powerful to see us yoke in this. There are times that she'll cook and make the whole meal and everything. There's times that I cook and make the whole meal. There's times where we're busy with things, and there's times that I'll help clean the house, and there's times she'll clean the house, and we'll do it together. And we'll do meals together. We can host events together because we get in sync and tandem and we yoke up, even in events, whether it's for our epic intensive, where up to 20 people at a time have shown up, more than that, 24. Again, that's still very small. I get it. But we live together and we prepare as a family to cook. And Chantel and I will go shopping and set up for the event together. It's amazing. But it's because we choose to yoke up together and we get more done. It's super powerful. So that's what I want to encourage you, man. Seriously, I learn. Oh, you need to learn new skills, but this is one of them where you can support your wife in cooking, and she cooks. Yes, you cook, and then you can support her in the household duties of cleaning and support her too with the kids. Like equally yoked in all these things makes us so much more powerful. Reading to the kids, man, spending time with them, teaching them how to read, going through, I've been reminded of this greatly because for the last couple of days, we had the Del Rios here, Brandy and her four boys. I love them. David is the youngest. Then you've got the twins, Ezekiel and Elijah. And then you've got Xander, the oldest, four boys. And Xander's going to be 8. So again, they're young boys. David is, I think, he's a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years old. And then you've got the twins that are 6. And so they're learning how to read. They're doing well with their schoolwork too. We did some of that last night, but also just learning that they have so much energy, so much. These boys are all boys. So they want to fight, they want to wrestle. It's like, okay, let's go in the basement. We'll set up the mat here and let's go after it. And let's do some push-ups when you don't listen. It's like get some training with them, exercise, and then help them to have disciplines. But that takes even teamwork to go. I took them to the store. We had to go just get some supplies before the end of the day on Saturday. And again, just took them all 4 with me. Why not? Can you handle it, man? Or is your wife always the one that takes the kids? You got 4 boys full of energy that you've got to get together as a team. You've got to be able to say something that's good. One of our principles and things we teach our legacy couples, we're working with them and their kids, is HOPS. It's an acronym. Okay. So again, I'm going into all this because look, there is shared responsibility when you yoke up. There's shared responsibility and then shared activities and action. When you work together, it's so much better for your children and for your marriage. It really is. What a great example. Give me a second. I got to check something, then I'm going to answer some of these questions. I've got, hopefully, you can still hear me. Let's see, Mr. Kinsinger, we're supposed to be meeting up this morning. I don't know if he's up yet. Let's see. Because of the ice storm, I don't know if he's actually awake or if he thinks that we're not meeting because of the ice storm. We're about to see. Hopefully, you're still there. If you're standing by, great. Thank you. If you got your coffee, cheers. Checking in with the client that we meet Mondays at 5:30, but I do know with the ice storm, it's probably not working, just like I'm not working today. But I am working actually. Let's see. There he goes. He's coming on. Cheers to coffee. All right. See you in 5 minutes. We're going to bring this to a close. All right. I told you that I would answer some questions here if you put questions. Oh, silly comments. It's not biblical. How does one honor Passover? Oh my goodness. Amish. Can I ask you a question you claim to know? Would you be interested? Okay, how does one honor Passover? That's not biblical. What's not biblical? I don't know what you're talking about. How does one honor Passover? If you're serious about that, you do it. You understand what Passover is, and you do it during the time of Passover. There's 3 major feasts. Go by the Jewish calendar; it's more accurate. And honor Passover, honor um, Sukkot, and honor Shavuot. That's what I believe. 3 major feasts to be aware of them, and even participate in. It's very powerful. Oh my goodness, Amish dating app. Interesting. That's blasphemy. I don't know what's blasphemy, but anyways. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. Yes, very true. Okay, I don't see any. This dude. Interesting people. They come on here and they don't even have any kind of good comments. They just start making negative, derogatory comments. So, hey, Phyllis, thanks for being here. There's one. Hops. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm really looking forward to speaking and learning from you. Okay. I don't know if that's true, but very cool. Someone that stopped by says he's a family man. I appreciate that. And definitely would love to give you some pointers. I don't speak from just, head knowledge. It's actually putting it into action. Spent the weekend with 4 young boys. I love taking them with me. Like I said, I understand how by mama's being with them all day long, and they love a good break. And by the way, that's part of yoking. I've been off work all weekend. Now today, even though I'm staying home, I am working. And I told Chantel that, my wife, and I'll spend some time with the boys as well, for sure. But I will get focused and get back to work today, even though we're not going into the office because of the ice. I will. But my point being is that how important it is to even balance in yoking together. The equalizing of the work is to do the time too. Spending time with the boys yesterday. We went out in the basement, probably spent a couple hours doing some punches and kicks and wrestling and letting boys do what they do. It was awesome, actually, to see them do some work. They know how to do push-ups. They've been taking a little jujitsu class, so I was working with them on what I call family defense. and help them even working together. The three older boys, that is. And I did that during the youngest, David's nap. And then, yeah, we worked on some timeout stuff with them, the boys, and helping them to have self discipline, or they have to have discipline from Uncle Carlos, putting them in timeout. And again, there's a lot of things that we've done and learned over the years that is very effective and powerful. And we're blessed that God has given us that wisdom and experience, not just wisdom, but experience doing it. So if you're true about that, hey, hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel or even on my Facebook page if you're barely seeing this for the first time. And yeah, when we go live, um, as Amish matchmakers, we not only talk about relationship, but also marriage and what it looks like to have legacy and epic marriage and then long term legacy. It's really important um, to take certain actions if you want epic marriage and then if you want epic legacy. Like there are purposeful things that you can do. So we tell all, we're not here to get you to buy my program. We do have a community that you can be a part of for sure. Epic Your Life on school.com. I'm not going to hide that. But the reality is I want to be a blessing and make a difference in the world. And I'm willing to give the skills and the strategies and things that we've learned. You can go to epicyourlife.com even, and it's there for free. Some of our strategies and skills and videos and content and things that we have created, it's there. You can go to the website and find it and work on it yourself for sure. That's our mission, is to make marriage great again. It is powerful. And we believe in it. We believe in yoking up and that back to creation in the Garden of Eden, that God meant for us to be connected in that way, knowing Him as Father and being one flesh and what that looks like to be in sync together as a couple, married and working together. So, all right, I'm going to bring it to a close today. Um, God bless you and thank you for being here. Tune in again tomorrow. We'll keep it going, and tomorrow we'll get back at it and we'll talk more about what it looks like to yoke, what it looks like in the marriage to be yoked up, equally yoked in the work, in the process, in the raising of children, in the responsibility for work and cash flow and business. Like all these things matter. The who has the responsibility for taking care of the kids, even. Like I do believe that's a powerful thing when it's equally yoked, to give you time, give her time, and all the things that you do in a couple and as a relationship. So God bless you. Thanks for being here. We are the Amish Matchmakers. We help Amish find godly spouses, create epic marriages, and develop legacies that are rooted in faith and freedom, and above all else, love. We believe love is the key to epic relationships and marriage. So welcome and thank you for being here. How do you do timeouts? Oh, is that a real question? Interesting. Well, can you like and subscribe? And I promise you, I will go into it tomorrow, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be here and we'll go into some stuff about hops, honor, obedience, patience, self control, which is what we utilize for raising children, what to focus on with your children, and also doing timeouts for sure. It's based on age. Congratulations, husband and I will be married 24 years in July. That's pretty powerful. Sure, you have lots of wisdom of marriage and relationship based on the time. Hopefully, it's been an epic marriage. The fact that you're declaring it, I imagine it's been good. God bless you, brother. God bless you. Yoke. Yep, yoking up together. All right. Well, have a great day.